Now, I want to talk to you about ovens. Yes, I know what you're thinking. Ovens, they're not proper gadgets, John. But these days, they can be. Take an oven, add sophisticated state-of-the-art computer technology, and you get an intelligent oven. An oven that claims to be able to cook your food to perfection without you having to worry about timing and temperature settings. Now, as somebody who's not exactly a culinary expert, these sort of ovens appeal to me. But at the same time, I don't feel competent to judge them on my own. So, I set off to find a real expert in the subject.
This is top TV chef and restaurateur Simon Rimmer. He'd kindly agreed to help put our 3 intelligent ovens to task by preparing an identical joint of British roast beef to cook in each.
Hello, Simon.
Hiya, John.
Now, there's no doubt you've expertly prepared all this, but are you confident these so-called intelligent ovens are going to do your expertise justice?
It is a big claim, isn't it, that, we can get a perfect piece of roast beef without doing any preparatory work at all. You're putting them in cold. What I would normally do if I was going to roast this, rub a bit of oil on it, seal it in a very, very hot pan, and then I would season it. If it works, then it's brilliant. I mean, of course, the danger is it makes me redundant.
They'd have to be pretty good to do that. Let's try them and see what they can do.
First up is the Electrolux Inspiro. It uses a central navigation wheel to select auto cooking, then the dish you want to cook.
Roast beef.
Roast beef.
That's the fella.
OK.
Having input the joint's weight, we then placed our raw meat into a stone-cold oven, which was a big shock for Simon because conventionally a joint would go into a preheated oven.
Weird. If this works, I will be very impressed.
Despite no preheating time, the temperature inside the oven rose quickly as heat from the fan and grill began to seal our meat nicely. But Simon's concern grew as our beautifully prepared beef just kept cooking and cooking and cooking, until Simon decided enough was enough.
Right, we have a problem, Houston.
Yes, you've intervened on this one.
Yeah,
taken over.
The Electrolux was telling us that this still had an hour to go. Now, that is clearly well and truly done.
But how would it taste?
It's certainly roasted.
It is.
You can taste the fat. If you wanted your beef to be medium to well, it's actually not bad.
It's not bad apart from the fact it wouldn't have been if you'd left it in for another hour.
Exactly. So therefore not very intelligent.
The Electrolux had obviously failed to impress, so we moved swiftly on to oven number 2. The Miele H5681B. Its touch-sensitive menus offered more options as to how we'd like our beef cooked.
Now, this one gives you the choice of how well done you'd like it.
I'd go for sort of medium. What do you think?
I think medium, maybe with a slight British extra bit. There, that's obviously the setting it needs.
Is that what it says? Medium with a slight British extra bit. That's good that it says that.
And Simon was impressed that you can choose how much you brown the meat.
It's very interesting they do that. I mean, I want it quite dark on the outside.
It also cleverly sucks up water, which gets dispersed as steam during the cooking process if and when required.
Oh, now that's cool. I'm liking this one already, actually.
With the Miele's thirst quenched, it went into a preheating phase, so we passed the time by perusing the recipe book that came with it.
Ah, now the classic Sachertorte.
Is that difficult?
It is difficult.
Ooh. Place food in oven and use the food probe.
This wireless probe monitors the internal temperature of the meat to determine when your desired level of cooking has been reached. And after 45 taste bud teasing minutes, we began our inspection.
Nice piece of beef. The fat is kind of crispy. I don't think it's particularly brown. Remember, we had this darker setting.
Yes.
Does that say dark to you?
I don't imagine what it'd be like on the light setting.
And carving revealed a slightly rarer joint than the British medium we'd asked for. But could the taste make up for it?
It almost tastes like it's just been steamed and grilled. It's very moist, which is good, but it isn't a particularly attractive moist for me. It feels a little bit that it's watery.
That's the disappointing bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
It doesn't really taste like a roast.
The Miele had done an adequate job, but we still hadn't got our perfect beef joint, so oven number 3 was our last hope. This is the Dietrich DOP895B, which sports a rather attractive tilting touch-sensitive control panel.
Yeah, I'm liking this.
And the so-called intelligent cooking system has pictures of food types you may want to cook.
Do you know, I am thinking there is that certain element of mischief in me that says I want to choose savoury tart and cook roast beef and just see what happens.
Yeah.
But, resisting temptation, we selected the medium roast beef setting, placed our tray into the cold oven and started the programme.
For me, this is what you want it to do, really. You want it to be very, very straightforward. Bosh, bosh, bosh. It starts cooking, we forget about it.
Certainly the simplest of the three to set going, isn't it?
There's no need to input weights or use a temperature probe, as De Dietrich claim their internal humidity sensors continually assess the moisture content of the meat to determine the cooking time and temperatures required.
Right, let's have a look. This would look like a nice piece of sirloin. So look, we've got good colour on the outside. The fat has got some good colour on it. It's got a little bit of crispiness to it.
So far, so good. But what about the taste?
Lovely mouth appeal. It's got a good chew on it, a little bit of resistance. The flavour's delicious. Got a nice bit of fattiness in there, but nonetheless it's lean. It's quite a soft finish on it. That's impressive. I like that. That's good. How about you?
I agree totally. That feels exactly and tastes exactly as it should.
Now for the G ratings, and I'm afraid it's only 1 G for the Electrolux. It may be good on manual, but left to its own devices, our meal would have been a disaster. 3 Gs for the Miele, a competent if slightly flavourless effort. The steam feature seemed to drain away the taste. And it's 5 Gs for the De Dietrich. Easy to use and it delivered perfect results. Simon couldn't fault it.